Today we will discuss about a very important law, that is the Ohm's law. Ohm's law is a basic law regarding flow of currents. Ohm's law was discovered by George Simon Ohm in 1828, long before the physical mechanism responsible for flow of currents was discovered. According to George Simon Ohm, there is an analogy between electric current and heat flow. In heat flow, there is a temperature gradient. Heat flows due to temperature gradient. In analogy to temperature gradient, the current flows due to the electric field. So electric field is analogous to temperature gradient. So you imagine a conductor through which a current I is flowing. Let V be the potential difference between the ends of the conductor. And according to Ohm, the current is proportional to the potential difference, or the current is equal to potential difference divided by a constant, where the constant R is called the resistance of the conductor. The resistance R depends on the material of the conductor and the dimension of the conductor. Now let us see how the resistance R depends on the dimension of the conductor and the material of the conductor. So dependence of R or resistance on dimension of the conductor. Consider a conductor in the form of a slab. You see, this is a conductor in the form of a slab. The length of the conductor is L and the area of cross section of the conductor is A. So consider a conductor in the form of a slab of length L and cross sectional area A. So resistance of the slab will be equal to R equal to V by I. Imagine placing two such identical slabs side by side. Length of the combination is equal to 2L. Current through the combination is equal to I, and potential difference across two individual slabs is equal to V. Since there are two identical slabs, so total potential difference will be equal to V plus V, that is equal to 2V. So here you see there are two identical slabs. That means the slab this is this and this is another identical slab as this one. So these are two identical slabs like this one. Length of the combination will be, what is the length of the slab? We have taken L. So the length of this combination will be L plus L. This will be equal to 2L. Current through the combination, current passing through this combination will be equal to I, and potential difference, here the applied potential is equal to V, but that potential is divided between these two slabs. So here the potential drop is equal to V. Since these are identical slabs, here also the potential drop will be equal to V, and here also the potential drop will be equal to V. So the total potential drop in these two slabs will be equal to 2V. So resistance of the combination will be equal to RC, that is equal to potential 2V divided by current I, that is equal to 2 into V by I. V by I is equal to R as per equation 1. So that will be equal to 2R. That is doubling the length of the conductor doubles the resistance. If the conductor length will be twice, the resistance also increases twice. So in general, the resistance of a conductor is proportional to its length, that is R proportional to L. Now divide the slab into two halves by cutting lengthwise. Okay, the shape will be like this. So you have divided the slab into two halves by cutting lengthwise and place the two halves, that means having area A by 2 each, but length of the each slab is equal to L, but area of cross section of the slab will be A by 2. Here the area of cross section will be A by 2. So now combine the two slabs of length L and area of cross section A by 2. The current flowing through each of the two halves, that is equal to I by 2. Current will be half. So in each of the area A by 2, current will be I by 2, but potential difference across the ends of the half slab will be equal to V. That is also equal to the potential difference across the full slab, but we need the potential difference across the ends of the half slab. So what will be the resistance of each of the half slabs? Resistance R1 will be equal to V divided by current is equal to I by 2. So that will be equal to 2 into V by I. V by I equal to R. So it will be equal to 2R. Thus, if you make half or halving the area of cross section of a conductor, the resistance becomes double. If you make the area of cross section half of the conductor, then the resistance of the conductor becomes double. That is, the resistance R of the conductor is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So R proportional to 1 by A. So if we combine equation 3 and 4, in equation 3 we have got R proportional to L. Here we get R proportional to 1 by A. So by combining 3 and 4 we get R proportional to L by A. So R will be equal to a constant into L by A. And this constant is called rho, called the resistivity of the material. So I have told you the resistance of the conductor depends upon two factors, that is the material of the conductor and the dimension of the conductor. The material of the conductor means the resistivity. Okay, so resistivity depends upon the material of the conductor but not on its dimension. But we have proved here that the resistance depends upon the dimension L and A. So the resistance depends upon two factors, the dimension of the conductor and the material of the conductor. Now let us discuss what will be Ohm's law, the form of Ohm's law in terms of current density. From equation 1 we get R is equal to V by I. R is equal to V by I. And in equation 5 we have we have got R is equal to rho into L by A. So V by I will be equal to rho into L by A. We know the potential is equal to the product of electric field and length of the conductor. So E is the electric field, and here I by A, that is called the J. Okay, J is nothing but the current density, and the unit of current density in SI is ampere per meter square. So if you take V, substitute V equal to E into L and rho is equal and J equal to I by A, we will get E into L is equal to J rho into L. That means E will be equal to J into rho. That means electric field is equal to the product of current density and the resistivity of the material. So it is a very important relation. You have to remember the relation between electric field and current density, that is E equal to J into rho. In vector form you write electric field vector E equal to the current density vector into the resistivity. Okay, the current density, remember the current density is the current through the conductor per unit area. Remember, current through unit area normal to the current. Current density means the current through unit area normal to the current. You see, this is the direction of the current and this is the direction of the area. The direction of the area is not always normal to the direction of the current. That means the area is not always like this. The area may be like this, and when the area will be like this or this, what will happen? There will be a angle between the direction of the current and the direction of the area. This is the direction of the area. Okay, but when you will consider the current density vector, then you have to consider the direction of area along the direction of the current. Okay, like this perpendicular area, you have to take the perpendicular area. That means if this is ds, then you have to take ds cos theta. Ds cos theta will be along the direction of the current. Again we know conductivity sigma is equal to 1 by rho. So if you write the relation between electric field and current density vector in terms of conductivity, then you write J equal to rho into sigma into E. Okay. What is the origin of the Ohm's law? What is the origin of Ohm's law? Ohm's law arises from the characteristics of drifting of electrons or deep drift of electrons. So in the next class we will discuss about the drift of electrons and the origin of resistivity. Thank you.